Very good. All right. What is your name, please?
My name is Lita Harris Newstetter, and this is my story.
My name is Patty O'Hara, and this is my story.
My name is Jessica Holmes, and this is my story.
So my story takes place back in 8th grade. And as many people are when they're in 8th grade, I was pretty obsessed with fitting in. And in 8th grade, the crowd I wanted to fit in to was the preppy crowd. 9th grade is when I became a punk rocker. 8th grade, totally preppy, obsessed with things like Izods, polos, Sperry Soul topsiders, and having name brand was everything. Okay, so meanwhile, our house was like the house to hang out with. So the neighborhood kids would come over to our house and we'd hang out. And there was this one neighborhood kid who was my crush. And he was like capital C crush, like my crushy crush. But on this one occasion, he was going to come over and hang out with the group. So this is the big deal. So I get my bestest outfit. I just so happened to have some new khaki shorts. They were like the Izod ones with the pleat or with the cuff around the bottom, you know. I look good in those shorts. Had my Izod shirt on. Like, this is the best outfit. And so we, for some reason, go over to his aunt's house. So we're hanging out outside. And I managed to get my crush away. There's like this little side kind of porchy area. And I get him alone for a minute, right? So I'm all aflutter. I got him alone. And I remember he's sitting down and I'm standing and I'm trying to be cute and probably laughing or thinking I'm funny. And I lean over and all of a sudden, out comes a little fart. And I'm mortified. And before I can even think, I say,
Oh no, I ripped my shorts. Yes, right there. I took my hand and I put it right over where the shorts would have ripped if they actually had ripped, but that's where the sound came from. But I put my hand there. He looked over like, oh yeah, right, you ripped your shorts. And he goes and takes off to hang out with our friends. Okay, I just farted in front of my crush and I told him I ripped my shorts. Now I have to rip my shorts. So there I am, and I got to do it fast. If it's going to take more than 3 minutes, I'm in trouble because the other kids are going to start to think something's up here and she's probably doing something to her shorts. I have to rip my beautiful new khaki shorts. And I tried to rip them and dang, they were really well-made khaki shorts. I was not making headway trying to rip them. I could knock on the door and I could knock on the door and ask for scissors. Yes, hello, I'm here hanging out and I need a scissors to cut my brand new khaki shorts because I just farted in front of my crush and that wasn't gonna work. Okay, I gotta find something to help me rip these shorts. There's a chair, it's got a little loose wicker, something sharp, serrated. It's a garden knife, a rusty old steak knife they must have used for the garden. I take that steak knife and I just start to work those little threads on the seam and toink, there's one. Oh God, yes, I'm ripping my shorts, my khaki shorts. Toink, oh God, I ripped my shorts. Okay, time's a wasting. I rush back to the group.
So there I am back in the yard, and the whole point is to get him to notice that I ripped my shorts. So in my imagination, he comes over concerned and says, "Can I look at your rip?" And I show him, and he's like, "Of course you didn't rip one. You ripped one." And I knew that you wouldn't fart because you are an angelic being of non-embarrassing humanity who would never excrete a gas from her ass. And I want to take you, precious flower, and kiss you like we're in a teenage movie. So that's what I imagined would happen, and that's exactly what did not happen. In fact, nobody cared less that I was gone. Nobody really noticed. So I had to first create a scene and gather people over to show them that I had ripped my shorts. So I was like, Sarah, oh my gosh, look at this, my new khaki shorts. I ripped my shorts. And she was like, I kind of see that. I didn't do a very good job, apparently, ripping my shorts. So I was making this big commotion, and I hear him over on the other side of the yard. His friend asks, what's going on over there? And he says, oh, nothing. Jessica just farted. And my fantasies died that day. The truth hit me, and it's a truth that's lasted the rest of my life about crushes, that no matter what dramatics you put on or how much effort you put into it to get your crush to care, if they don't care about you, it doesn't matter. So what I learned that day is the truth hurts. And that is my story.
All right, we've updated the theme song to reflect maybe a closer to the time period that this story took place. I don't know if that's a hint or not.